Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the channel. I am the Sour Sailor and welcome back to World Flights. This is the second flight. The first flight we flew from London to Paris. It was a little bit rough, but the weather was pretty bad and my landing wasn't the best. I'm hoping to do a little bit better this time, but you never know. I'm doing this pretty much straight after the last flight, probably like an hour or two later. So hopefully the weather will be a little bit better and we can get a good flight in. As usual with all these flights, I will be flying the full flight and doing some music and a bit of like an interlude during the cruise so that I can take a little break and you can just enjoy some nice peaceful views and some music. And always, if you do like what I'm doing and you want to see more of the wild flights, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Subscribing to the channel will let you see more, when it'll let you know when it goes live, hopefully, if YouTube does their job. So, let's get into it. I'm going to go through this really quickly, the startups procedure and all that, because we looked at it on the first flight. So we'll run through it quickly. If you have any issues, make sure to go check the last video out, where I go in a little bit more depth on how to fly the plane. And hopefully it will all go smoothly. Let's do this. So, we're in Terminal 2. It's going to be a bit of a long taxi, so let's try and get going. So I started the plane up as always with the external power and the battery. So we're going to switch the ADIRS to nav. We're going to hit the cruise supply. Fuel pumps will stay off for now. No anti-ice. Turn the strobes and the nav's on. Seatbelts and smoking signs, and arm the emergency lights. And we'll turn the integrated lighting on. That's it for that bit. I'm going to smash the cockpit door button down, predicted wind shear onto auto, add a bit of lighting, and clear the transponder and up 2000 in while we're not online. And then we'll turn the, bit of a stutter, we'll turn the PFD up, the ND up. We will head over to the FO. If my mouse were to come back, there we go. And then we will turn the ECAM lights on. And we're good to go. Let's turn the fly pad on. So, SimBrief is going to show us the flight. It says an hour. That's an hour gate to gate. It's actually about 38 minutes in the air, so cruise will be pretty short. The weather's still pretty poor. As you can see, there's quite a big layer of cloud over the top of us right now. And we're going to take in 4.7 kilos of fuel. So let's put that in. 4705. Auto load. There we go. Right, let's get rid of that for now. Let's go down to the ATSU menu. AOC. And then init press. Init data request. Cool, so that's all in, and then we'll go back to the AOC menu, do weight balance, request, and start boarding. And then init request over here as well. I think this is how we get the METAR to work properly. Could be wrong though. Zero fuel weight, we'll put it in for now, but the actual zero fuel weight is going to be different. It's going to be 60.0. There we go. And then our fuel was 4.7. Cool. Back to the AOC menu, and we'll get the METAR, whatever pronounce it. We'll send it. It's queued up for sending. So while it's queued up, just want to let you know that obviously subscribing is a really great way to get your notifications, and it's a really great way to show me that you enjoy what you're watching and makes me want to do more videos. Like I said in the last video, I'm aiming for 10 subscribers, so if we can get 10 subscribers, I'll be really pleased. So please subscribe. Okay, so let's go grab the received message. Print. Here it comes. Let's grab it. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Loading in, there we go. Cool, so let's go to the flight plan page. So today, because the wind is now really blowing from the west all of a sudden, it was blowing from the right earlier, seems to have switched round. We're now going to fly it from 27 left. And we're going to fly off the, I had it just a second ago, Nurmo 5 Alpha. So let's get that. Nurm 5 Alpha. Wait for that to insert. There we go. And then clear the discontinuity as always. And this one as well. There we go. And then for the arrival, we're going to be landing on ILS 19. And that's going to be the Arvo 7 Bravo. And then no veers. Alright. So our flight plan should be set up. As always, we'll go to the plan mode. And then we'll just zoom out a little bit. So take off to the west, follow around to Nurmo, then go northeast up to Belgium, and then follow the arrival in, and then land on to runway 19. As you can see, it's got a really weird thing with that it does at the moment in the sim, where if they've got a few like waypoints close together like this, it will just cut them. So we just have to be a little bit mindful when we're descending. Hopefully we can get down a bit quicker than we did last time. So that's not a problem. Okay, so let's go back to arc mode. Get out of the way weather. Silly thing. Cool. Okay, so the fuel's in now, so let's pump up the pumps. Open the master IPU switch. Let's wait for the flap to open. There we go. Start. And then let the APU run. So that's should be heard if you come out here. Kind of feel sorry for this guy. We'll remove these guys in now. There we go. And there we go, full power now. So we should start to get the APU gen loading up. There we go. And then we can hit APU bleed. And then you should hear the bleed come on, and we can turn external power off. Awesome. Okay, looks like we're pretty much ready to go. So let's start like working on the QNH and stuff like that. So QNH was pretty low. It was 0994. There we go. I can actually confirm if that's true by pressing B, which it is, because B just sets it to whatever pressure it is right now. So we're all good on that side. Our altitude today, we're going to be flying at what altitude are we going to? 2400, so not very high at all. It's only a short flight. We probably wouldn't even have time to get to 2400, I don't even think. But we'll give it a go. And then we're pretty much ready to go now. We just need to get the pushback going, and we've got to close that door again. Last episode, it got a bit stuck. There we go. Alright, let's call the pushback.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
Alright, so we just get ourselves attached right now. On the way and just checking everything's good.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
Alright, just making the lift. Okay, so
Standing by for pushback.
our taxi is going to be pretty long. So we're going to come back here. We're going to go left onto Papa and then take a right onto Foxtrot all the way down to Bravo and then follow Bravo all the way down to Bravo Delta 1 and then onto Delta 1. Oh no, sorry, wrong way because we're on 27 left, sorry. So Bravo all the way down to Quebec and then Quebec 6. Okay, so we've got quite a long journey. I can even show you that on here if I come this across. So this is the airport. We are currently here. A bit of a terrible colour for the plane, really. But Papa up to Foxtrot, onto Foxtrot here, and then Bravo all the way across to Quebec and then Quebec 6. And then to be fair, we could come off here actually in Quebec 4. I think we'll do that because the threshold's here, so we might as well just start here rather than travel all the way down here before we start to take off. So we'll do that. So let's bring that back over there. Okay, so let's start reversing.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push. Parking brake set.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Alright, so we switched it to ignition start and then start number 2. And if I get the right camera mode. Ah, so confusing. That's the one I wanted. There we go. There we go. I should see it start. There we go, just in time. Beautiful. So we've got a good start. Trying to get back to the cockpit. There we go. So a good start on 2. That's starting up quite nicely. Let me just make sure the the throttle is in the right place, which it is. I'm hoping. I don't want another repeat of what happened last time. Alright, so number 2 started quite good. Number 2's just switched over. So let's switch number 1 onto. Here, the dog park. So we're coming up to the taxiway now. So we'll start turning ourselves. There's the start. The engine is started. All good. And now we are just going to get lined up on here nicely. And then stop.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Okay.
Parking brake set.
Let's get rid of this now.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Alright, so we're just waiting for this to say available.
Ground. Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Roger. Good engine start. Clear it to disconnect. See you at the side.
Oh,
Have a good
I
flight.
just realised I missed something.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
I did do a little like one for the tail earlier when it was the runway 9, but I've changed it now, so it's actually 250 or 13, so it's going to be a crosswind, but it's fine. So and we're going to do it in flaps 1. So there we go, easy enough. So 1/up 1. Flex temp was 58. Oops. And then the V speeds were 156, 156, 157. So we're going to be travelling some speed before we even take off it. So that's an interesting one. Alright, so engine's alive. Let's turn these off. I get the taxi lights and nose wheel lights on. Alright, let's start our long taxi. Hopefully I am facing the right way here. Oops. Yeah. So let's get off the parking brake. Just don't hit the microphone. Alright. That's good. Make sure I'm on idle. If things even registering. There we go. Alright, so we're just going to follow this down. We're going to turn right up here. And we're going to follow that. Up here, sorry. So let's start the chrono on this now. I remember that this van has a suicide mission, I see. It's like the 18 there. Go on. Dun, 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 dun. Can't do that too much more because of DMC haze. Alright, so let's get the auto brake settings set. Flaps to 1. Arm the spoilers. Config test. Oh. It's because the... Hang on a second. It's because the slats weren't fully out. There we go. Alright, so we're just coming down here, which is the F taxiway. Just for a long journey down here. Oh, don't slip off the taxiway. So in idle, the plane builds up speed. Even in idle, the plane wants to keep moving forward. So you've got to keep that in mind. For example, right now I'm doing 20, 21 on the ground speed, which is fine. Oh, big bump. It's fine. So that's a good speed right now. But much quicker than that, we'd have to have the brakes on. Slow down a bit more, there we go. Alright, so we're pretty much getting there now. We need to take a right here to follow up here because it actually splits. So we're going to have to slow down a little bit to make this turn. Because this is a ramp. I believe this is where some of the smaller jets or maybe that big GA park. So we just need to follow this round. Alright, let's carry on. So at the top here we need to turn right onto Bravo. So it should be pretty good. Brakes. It's a bit of a tighter turn than you might think. Alright, so we're now on the final stretch. We are going to be turning right. Not this one, not the next one, or the one after that, or the one after that. So the fifth turn. So that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. Okay, so let's get ready to make our turn. Slow down a little bit more. Okay. Okay, here's the runway. So we're just, as always, we're just going to stop quickly before we do this. And just make sure we've got everything set, which we pretty much have. So I'm just going to slow down a little bit. Just going to do the usual cabin signs.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Alright, get the lights on. Alright, do it. Okay, so could even possibly have a rolling start here, which would be quite good. So let's just line it up. Make sure I'm in the flex position. There we go. Keep the nose column down. Just get straight up. So 100 knots we release the pressure. Keeping the center line as much as I can. Some long V speeds today. There we go. B1 rotate. Takeoff is achieved. Good gear up. Beautiful. We have liftoff. So as always, I just fly for a little bit when we take off, just because I want to fly. It's too easy just to put the autopilot on and just let it go. There's Paris in the background. There's like the main finance sector. I don't know what any of the buildings are called. I know like all the London buildings, but no idea about the Paris ones. Right, time to climb for us. Trying to keep that green line right where I want it to be. We're approaching the flaps up speed, so let's get spoilers unarmed. Let's get the flaps up. And then let's let the plane take off. Great view, little view over Paris right now. Before we make our turn, look at that. Beautiful. Right, so let's just follow the flight directions quickly as it makes its turn. We're going to get lag spikes because Paris is quite a big built-up area. For some reason the flaps aren't in fully. There we go. Right, so we're passing transition. And the plane's going to want us to go back. Beautiful. Alright, I think that's time for the autopilot to come in. So there we go. So we have now taken off. we are clear of the airport. We are pretty much clear of Paris as well. There's no restrictions here at all. So we can now just climb to our top of climb, which is Nermo. So we're just following the Nermo chart, which isn't loading on my screen. There we go. Okay, so it's messing about right now. Hello? Okay, so it's not working, but we should be taking. Here we go. Oh, here it is. Here we go. We're going to turn right now. We're going to go up to Nermo, as you can see right here. So that's what we're following. We're just about to turn right. There we go. So past 10,000 feet. So let's get the lights off. Getting some big lag spikes in there, which is annoying. There we go. All right. This thing is so frustrating. Okay. For some reason it's just not working now. There we go. So some really good views out there as we make our climb up to 25,000 feet. So guys, I hope you're enjoying this. If you let me know in the comments how you feel like it's going so far, like whether you want to see more wing views, less wing views, more outside views, you know, more inside views, like just tell me what you want to see and I'll try and work out how to do it. Replays can be an option as well. I can put some replays in if you want to see some replays. Might make the video a bit longer, and also you can always rewind. Thinking about other than that, like anywhere like you think I should go to get some free scenery and stuff like that, or any sort of like decent airport scenery as well, that would be good. I don't think I have anything. I have a few, like I have like Athens scenery for free. I got that the other day when I was doing some Athens flying and so on and so on. So yeah, let me know if you know any good places, and also let me know about how it looks as well. Like, to me it looks amazing. I mean, it's Microsoft Flight Simulator after all, but tell me if you think it's a bit laggy for you, or it doesn't sound good, or you know, if you think the scenery could do a little work. Like, do you think the clouds look all right? Like, I personally think they look pretty good, but you guys let me know. It's really important. So we're just going to actually do a quick climb up here. It's not going to take much longer to get. As soon as we get to Nermo, we'll be at the top of climb, and then we're going to sit on cruise until pretty much we're right near the airport, to be honest, and then we're just going to drop down straight after Arvol. So we're probably like 10 minutes in the cruise, probably not even that. We'll see how it goes, but what I'll do though, once we do get to cruise, I'll just quickly switch over to cruise mode, where we put the music on for a bit. It gives my voice a little bit of a break. What I would also say though is my impressions of the Airbus A320. The A320 mod I'm very impressed with, compared to the standard base edition. The base edition really doesn't work. Like, I don't know why Microsoft Flight Simulator or Asobo, it's not the one I wanted, Asobo wanted to do that. I just don't get it. I just don't get what their plan was with that. So I'm hoping that in the future they would get a few more of these like 3 add-on planes. I mean, I would like to buy more planes, but I think that sometimes they're... That's quite loud, isn't it? I would like to buy more planes, but I think they're a little bit too expensive. I like the look of the Boeing 737 that they've got planned. That looks pretty amazing, to be fair. VMDG. And I would also like to probably maybe get the, is it ATR that got released as like more of a short like flight plane. I'm kind of looking for more of the short flight planes, really, like the hour flight planes. So if I had a plane that was a bit more hour based, like the CRJ, I don't particularly enjoy. I'm not a CRJ kind of person. So I'm hoping that they introduce a few more different planes, like they did recently with the Q400 on X-Plane. They saw planes would be good, especially for this World Series, because, or World Flight Series, is because if we're doing short flights, and using the A320 can sometimes be a little bit too much. It's a bit too big for some of these flights. Like these ones are okay, but if we like say go for the next flight, it's going to be Brussels to Luxembourg. Is that going to be worth flying the A320 to? I'm not sure. It might be a little longer than this. I don't know, but we will see. Okay, so we're pretty much at the top of descent now. Top of climb. Well, that's what it went. So yeah, we're at top of climb now. Cool. So let's get the seatbelt signs off, and let's go to a break. So I'm going to leave you with this view for now. So I'll be back in a few minutes once we get to the top of descent, and then we'll reconvene with what we're doing. Okay, the plane just nearly stalled then, which is really odd. It's currently only flying at 220. Huh. It's a bit weird. We do have a 99 miles an hour tailwind, so that's helping. It's pretty odd. I'm just watching the speed quickly to see if it goes back to normal. It's a bit strange. Looks like it's going back to normal. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, we're not good. Okay. Oh, what's wrong with this thing?
Alright, let's bring that beat back.
welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the music. Hope it wasn't too loud, and I'm still getting a bit used to getting it all set up. Right, so we hit our vol now, so we're just about to turn onto top of descent, which is at CIV, sorry. So we're going to start working our way down in a second, but I just need to obviously enter the destination data as always. So let's get that going quickly. So next phase on this here, QNH at EBBR is 991. 0991, and the temp is the same as it is in France, which is 8 degrees, and then the baro is really quick, it's 305. Now we go full flaps, so all good. And then the wind to finish it off is 170 at 16. There we go. I think that's all good. We're all looking good. So I don't know why it's still telling me to enter destination data. Alright, so let's get the seatbelt signs on. And let's get ready to descend. So we're going to descend down to 3,000 is the mandatory. So let's get down to 3,000. And let's go. So I've switched it into open descent mode. So as you may know, you may not know, the Airbus at the moment isn't very good with all the nav systems, so VNav is not very good, so you just have to keep an eye on the VNav. It can kind of get away from you a bit, but this is fine. So we're sending about 25,000 feet a minute, and we're going to come nicely through the clouds again like we did in the last flight, so that should be quite interesting. So I'm pretty sure with this this arrival that we're going to have to be once we get to Flora, which is where it starts to turn up here, we need to be pretty much ready to go. Like about I think the maximum height here is flight level 60, so about 6,000 feet by that point, by that turn. And then ready to the ILS by this turn. So approach mode all arm about here. As you can see, it says 7,000 feet by hull, which we're not going to make. We should have been at flight 7,000 feet at SIV apparently, according to this, but don't know why. Considering top of descent was at Arval, at SIV, sorry. So we're just going to follow it down, try and descend as quick as we can. Hopefully one day they'll update the VNav to be better, but we shall see. So back to Perth. There we go. We can turn the anti-ice off for now. Everything looks good here. Get the wing lights back on. When we hit 10,000 feet, we'll smash the rest of the lights on. As you can see, look at the size of that cut from flow. So it should be, what it should be doing is it should fly all the way to flow, and then come around flow, and then come down. But because the way this navigation system works, it cuts a massive line. So we're going to do it because I think we can make that. I think we'll be down to 3,000 by then. But if you were doing this online with ATC, you'd be on vectors now. So you'd be flying all the way out to flow and then across. Maybe even flying in a big pattern, depending on obviously how many aircraft's online. So for now we'll just go with it. If it looks like we're not going to make it, we can turn out and fly around to flow a bit more. But I think we'll be fine. So let's have a look at the scenery. Got a lot of cloud out there. It's always a great day coming in for a landing. So if you look off the wing right now, where the cloud is, where my mouse is, that's Brussels. So This is Brussels right here. So we're going right round and flying back in. And as you can see, it's pretty cloudy. So we're probably going to have the same situation as we did yesterday. Or, sorry, in the last flight, not yesterday. Where we're probably going to be on auto land until we get right to the runway. And if we can see the runway, then we'll go in. But if we can't, we'll have to do an auto land. But looking at this, scattered at 1800. So I think by the time we get to 1800 feet, we should be able to see the runway. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Right. So it's 1600 feet. 16,000 feet, sorry, not 1600. 16,000 feet. And we've got a wall of cloud in front of us. But we're coming down nicely. No flight restrictions just yet. I will turn it down to 250 knots once we get to 10,000 feet. So let's just make sure we've got everything set up. So let's go auto brakes to medium. I always like to go auto brakes to medium. I forgot to turn the chrono on, which is a bit silly. And what else do we need? We need to arm our spoilers. So let's do that now. Right, flaps will be ready when we're ready for it. And then gear, and then the approach phase. And then we're pretty much good to go. So we're now starting to make our turn. There's a nice rainbow there as well. Wow. Can you see the other rainbow? Yeah, you can. There it is. Oh, that's a sight you probably didn't expect to see when you went on this flight. But I might try and make that the screenshot. See if we can get outside for this. Look at that. Screenshot. Alright, carrying on. Alright, where are we up to? 13,000 feet. We've passed Hull now. Heading off to fly. We're about to start going through the cloud in a second, so it's going to get interesting. Currently the temperature is still it's +3 actually, so it's quite warm. There's no need for anti-ice then. So anti-ice you tend to use if you're going through cloud up to 10 degrees, but if you're outside a cloud it's fine, as long as it's not like below, I think -30 I believe is when you really need to put some anti-ice on. So at that point it starts to freeze the engine, but I think we're good. So looking good, looking good. We're coming up to 11,000 feet, so I'm going to put the signs on now. There we go. So we're all good, and then I'm going to chime. So here we make that turn, that ridiculous turn. We even turn earlier than the actual turn itself. So I don't know why it's decided it wants to do this, but apparently it does. So we'll let it do it. And I'm looking at my map on my Toolkit Pro. We've just cut pretty much half that entire line. Oh dear. And now we've flattened out again. Where are we going? Oh no, okay, I'm going to heading. I'm going to heading. So as you can see, the autopilot is still not the best. I'm just going to get out of the way of this cloud. Oops. I'm going to fly from here, I think. Let's get out of the way of that cloud. Alright, so at 10,000 feet now. We're just brushing through the cloud. It's no problem at all. And then we're going to start heading right. So let's slow ourselves down. We're actually a lot closer than we want to be, so let's go down to 230. So sometimes you have to do this. You have to go a little bit manual, which is okay. It's okay. All right, so we're okay now. So we're still descending. We're not descending super fast though. Let's get down. Get down. So we are going up to the ILS pretty quickly. So here we go through the clouds. Let's get the anti-ice on. Alright. Should be okay. It's plus 5 degrees, but you can never be too careful. Alright, so starting to come in now. I don't know what the autopilot was doing there. I mean, it got so confused. We're quite far off like course at the moment, but once we get a little bit closer in, as you can see, we can make the turn in. I'm going to come out to about here and then I'm going to turn in. Going to give us a little bit more time to set up after that mess. Fortunately, you can't unfortunately blame me for the mess that happens with the autopilot. So please don't put any hate in the comments. This is what the plane does. Right, so 6,000 feet. Let's get the landing systems on. Gives us an eye where we need to be in terms of the glide scope. I always say scope, glide slope. And starting to come down and down and down. 5,900 feet. Through the clouds. It's pretty cool. It really is cool. And there is Belgium underneath us. We can see, right, going to their barometric pressure, 992. Okay, so now we come out to 4,000 feet. We're pretty much ready to go. So I'm going to hit approach mode. And I'm hoping that it sticks at 300,000 feet or else we're going to have an issue here. I'm going to turn us towards the, oh my god. I'm going to turn us towards the ILS now. And hopefully the localizer will pick it up in a second. As we start coming down. Okay. Let's see if the picks it up. I'm gonna try and go below 210 now. Hello, localizer, localizer. Okay, we're having a bit of an issue here. Hasn't picked up the localizer just yet. Let's go flaps 1. I'm hoping this is not a problem. I may have to manually fly it to the runway. Otherwise we could be screwed. I think it should be okay. As soon as we hit here, I think it'll pick up. But just got to be a bit careful. Okay, I can see. There we go. Right, I was going to say, I can see the needles coming across now. Right, localizer's picked up. Awesome. Well, that was a bit of a drama. So far, 2 flights, 2 dramas with the autopilot. It's not going too well. Glide slope is captured as well. So let's go and bring it back to 180. And we are a few miles out, so let's get the gear down. Should bring the speed down a bit.
2,500.
Yeah, 2,500. Okay, next stage of flap. Let's get the anti-ice off now. Alright, so we should be able to see the runway. There shouldn't be any problem here. So we're coming down and down and down and down. Let's go down to flap traction. Flap traction, full flap speed, sorry. Which in this plane is we need to tell you the approach phase as well. 132 is what we're looking for. So we can fly this pretty slow, to be honest. Lovely. Much better than last time.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Prepared and ready to go way before. Whew. Right, so I can't see the runway at the moment, which is a bit of a pain, but that's not a problem. Just wonder if you guys can actually hear the sound of the plane very much. There you go. Okay, there's the runway. I can see it. So we'll just wait for the minimums and then I'll take over. Hopefully we want to be at 130, which is what we got last time. I'm not so sure I will, but we'll try. We'll try. So the wind is not as quick as it was in the last flight. It's only 16. It was like 20 something
1,000.
on the last flight. So this should be a little bit of an easier landing. Hopefully it doesn't lag on landing like it did last time as well. But we shall see. So everything's done, everything's advised. The cabin crew's been advised now. And we are ready to go. There is the airport, there's the tower. It's looking lovely, actually. I'm ready on the stick. There we go. 2 yellows, 2 reds. It's looking perfect so far.
500.
400 feet. Okay, taking over.
400. 100 above. 300.
A little bit of updraft. Keeping it steady. Come on over a little bit. Oh, bit of a lag. That's not what I want to see. We're now high. Thanks to that.
100.
Okay, let's bring it back.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Let's try and land it nicely. There we go. Oh, that was incredible. All right. So, bit of manual braking. We're down with safe. Obviously a bit rainy here. That landing was recorded at -28. -28, guys. What happened there? That is Perfect. I'm not sure if that's accurate, but that felt good. It did feel a lot better than it was in the last flight. I'll take that any day of the week. Right, so let's pull off here. This is E1. And then we'll take a turn into out and in. So we're going to go on the in9, and we're just going to park at U. Just don't really decide, but I just pick anywhere random, to be honest. Right, so coming in, so disable the spoilers, bring the flaps in, slow us down a little bit. So this is out, and this is in. Alright. Let's get the lights off. Hit them. And then, alright, so where should we park? U. So let's follow this down a little bit. I'm going to try and do a bit of a better shutdown procedure than I did last time as well, which was pretty poor, to be honest. Let's just stop it. Let's get the APU going. Okay, so let's take it over here. -28. Very impressed by that. It probably looked really hard on your screen because I think it stuttered quite a bit as I was coming in. It's probably why I got confused. So I think it was about 100 and something. I'll take it if it says it. I was flaring quite a lot, to be fair. Alright, so let's just slow this down a bit. Oh, I didn't mean to actually stop. Whoops. Let's just say it hit the brakes a little too hard. Right. Let's just pretend we had to wait for something. Anyway. So this is you. Okay, you just seems to be a parking bit. Okay, let's go over to E. The rain effects look pretty cool on the windscreen. I do like that. There's no need to turn the wipers on. Let's go park over here where these jetways are. That should be able to adjust it. And then when the light touches the wall, you brake. Okay, cool. So let's get the parking brake on. Okay, so the APU is working. Let's just double check that before I do it this time. Yeah, the APU is working. So let's switch the engines off. I also forgot to switch that. Whoops. So the engines have died, but the APU is done. Cool. Let's switch the lights off then. We'll do a proper shutdown procedure. So, in terms of the way I do it, shutdown procedure, is I just clear up all the peripherals and then I just work backwards in what we did. So, let's put on the ground power, turn off the APU, navs off, cruise fly off, see what signs off. No smoking signs lock off time. Oh no, they're on auto. Arm the not arm, sorry, turn off. Turn this off here. Perfect. Turn the fuel pumps off. That's that bit done. Unlock the cockpit door, turn predictive wind shear off, turn the floodlights off. Switch the transponder off. Beautiful. Turn the displays off. And then on this panel down here, turn the e-cams off. There we go. And that's pretty much it. And then we just turn the chrono. I think we just stop the chrono by doing that. So it took 48 minutes to flight, so that's pretty good. And then when we're happy, we just turn external power off, and then everything will go off. And we turn the batteries off as well. Should all turn off in a second. I think the APU is still running in the background, so we have to wait for that to turn on. But that's the flight. So let's go to the outside view. It's not a nice day, is it? Not a nice day at all. What's the not the best view? Okay, let's just do this view. For some reason the lights are still on. What? I'm about to say. Okay. And then we could just get the people to come off, but we turn everything off now so the doors won't open. But that's it. That's the whole flight from Paris to Brussels. I hope you enjoyed it. We got a nice little buttery landing, which I was very surprised about. It was like 20 something on the feet per minute, which is crazy. But take it as you will. I feel like it's more of a mistake. 28 it was. I think that was a mistake, to be fair. But it is what it is. So the next flight we're going to do from Brussels to Luxembourg. So I'm going to go away and kind of have a look at how long it's going to take. And if it's going to take it's going to be too short for the Airbus, then it might be worth doing something different. But that'll be our next flight. So if you really enjoyed this and you want to see the next flight, make sure to leave a like and to subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be notified when the next video goes live. So I'm going to leave you now. So thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.